Hello everyone and namaste. Welcome to my channel. I'm Elio Hachit, a landscape photographer from Lebanon, and also I have a channel for yoga. I used to do video classes on YouTube. I paused for 2 years because I was focusing on my photography and learning videography too. Now I have the perfect knowledge to share with you how to professionally and more aesthetically to take better videos of your yoga class. So let's get started. First thing, you should know what you should need for taking a proper professional yoga class. You need a professional camera or mid-range professional camera. You need a tripod, definitely. And you need to have also a microphone, like the one that I have here. And it comes with this. You can put it on the side of your body. But there's a new ones, which I don't have yet, that it comes all packaged in one, so you don't have to fuzz when you're moving your body that you might squish the microphone thing. Now we come to the camera settings. These are very important. First thing, you should put your camera after making the right composition for your video. If you want to take it 45 degree, which is the best options for you to take a video of 45 degree, and you have the top of the mat right at the camera. If you're filming with one camera, that's the best option, like the video that I'm showing here. And make sure to keep space to your hands to be shown. Like, you don't want to have your hands cut when you do a Tandasana and your hands are not showing. So give some space for the camera and let everything to be in frame, and check and put the highest resolution on your camera. Like, let's say 4K. And then you can crop and post-processing to the size that you need. Like, if you're on the mat, you can crop, go down all the way to the mat. So this is the best advice for you when you're putting the camera for the right composition. Now, the autofocus, you should switch it to manual focus. You need to focus on the top of the mat, because you're not close and you cannot depend on the camera, because the camera sometimes it hunts focus and sometimes it doesn't focus at all. You don't know if you're in focus because you're far from the camera. You cannot set it up like me here, because I'm sitting and I can see myself on the screen on the side, and I can see that it's focusing in my eye. As you can see, now I'm focused, I go back, it's hunting my eye. But in your scenario, in your case, when you're far away from the camera, you cannot do that. And actually, you should focus on your class to memorize everything that you have. So my advice, put your camera to manual focus and put highlight peaking, focus peaking, so you know where it's focused on. On that also, you should bump up your aperture. So don't open your aperture all the way to f2 or f2.8 or f4. You should put it definitely to f8 or f9 or f11, depends on the light that you have in the house. But I advise you between f8 or f9. Why is that? Because you can capture mostly anything in focus and you don't have to worry about if it's focused or not. Now, talking about that, with the aperture, you should consider also, you don't want to have zoom all the way zoomed in lens, and you don't want to put the camera all the way far. So if you have wide angle lens, like for a crop sensor, 18mm, 16mm, which is on full frame, 24 or let's say 20, that would be very nice. Because whenever you have a wide angle lens, you have a bit more sharpness in the depth of field, a bit more technical, but you will benefit from that. You don't have to zoom into 35mm and then the background is not in focus. So yeah, the ISO, now we're still talking about filming indoor. The ISO you should also fix depending on your exposure. So when you put now your shutter speed, the shutter speed should be from the file out 30 frames per second. Or 24 frames per second. Now I'm not gonna go into this debate, but I put it to 30 frames per second. Now, when you do this, as a external file going out to your SD card, you should put your camera as a minimum 60 frames per second. Now you got confused, I know. But in your camera, when you're recording and you want the file to go outside of your camera to the memory card or to external recorder, which is not necessary, you should put it to 30 frames per second. Now, on your camera, you can also select the shutter speed. So the minimum that you should put is the double what your camera is putting out. Why is that? You don't want to have light flickering in the scene. So that's why you should put as a minimum 60, but also don't put it into auto. You have to put everything into a manual mode. Now we come to the most important part, is white balance. Why is that? White balance is important indoor because sometimes the camera gets confused with the white balance. So the best thing to do is just take your camera and get a white paper, put it to the light and take a photo of it and custom your white balance, or to the wall. That's the easiest way. So you're on the right adjustment of white balance. Now, if you're interested to film 2 angles, you want to put 2 cameras in one video. Now, I know this is tough, but if you want to do that, you should consider to have the exact right settings for both cameras. And if you have same brand for both cameras, I advise you to use log, which is like for Fujifilm F-Log, and then on post-processing you put the LUT, they say it, and you have the exact colors for both angles to have less hassle. Now, the difference, if you're filming outdoor, the difference that you should consider of putting auto ISO and the white balance to put it to a daylight if there's a lot of light. Okay? Now, I finished explaining about how to set up the cameras, but now I need to give you some advices that you should consider of. You should think about the camera that you're using, how much the record limit is. Like if it's 30 minutes or 15 minutes, you should put your watch, or like your phone. I used to put my phone far away. You cannot see it on the video, but I used to check there's a time limit. So I stopped before the recording stopped and re-continue it later. And make sure to put the tele light from the front. Whenever you're recording, there's a tele light here, like I'm gonna demonstrate. You see it? This one, that means the camera now is recording the video. So this makes sure that you are recording, and whenever the recording stops, you know by looking at it. Also, if you're filming indoor and you don't have much light towards you from like a window or something else, consider buying a big light that have a side light on your body. Like here, I have the light from here and the shadow from here. That creates a nice contrast, and it's nice for the video. Also, the memory card. Try not to be cheapo with your memory card. Get a good, decent memory card. At least can read and write 170 megabytes per second or 200 megabytes per second. 4K videos, they're big and they need enough memory card. And my last 2 advices, get this is better than having a microphone here, because if I turn like that and I'm talking, the voice is going like that, so you don't hear me clearly and it's changing. This is behind your head and the microphone is always connected to your mouth. So I advise you to buy this one. And lastly, if you have issues with your battery on your camera, try to plug in your power bank so it never dies whenever you're recording and you're focusing on your doing your yoga class. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. You don't need a fancy, expensive camera to do these videos, but you need to put the right settings. So I hope these advices and settings help you to take great yoga classes. And I will say to you, namaste. And if you like the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Bye.